We're at Car Cave in Aiken, South Carolina. We do have locations worldwide. We have about 6 of them. That's how we get some of our unique inventory. What we're dealing with today is a 96 Land Rover Defender. Has the 300 TDI, which is a sought-after motor. Has good power. It's updated some. They made some advancements with that motor. A little bit easier service. Parts availability are good. Lots of aftermarket support. You can go bigger turbos, intercoolers. Easier maintenance. Great little motor. Higher volume. They used in a bunch of military vehicles, so easy to service. Parts availability, like I said. This one also is paired to the R380 5-speed transmission, which is kind of the typical shift pattern people are accustomed to, which is reverse down and to the right. First is straight up, on your left. This one's, like I said, 96 model year. I'm gonna butcher the pronouncement. I can't even say pronouncement today. Coniston green exterior color. It started life as a hardtop, and someone converted it to a camper. We actually took it over to a soft top. So along the way, it was used a little bit for camping, but now we have a new Exmoor trim tan soft top, or if you're British, a hood. The galvanized hood sticks here. So top's brand new. I think it's seen one rain when we've had it out. And they do recommend over time you use a beeswax coating and keep those a little bit moisturized with beeswax to maintain their waterproof nature. We have some of the maintenance listed online we've done to it. One of the things that's not up there is a front axle rebuild, but it showed up. It's always been a good running Defender. It was taken care of, has good maintenance history. 300 TDI runs smooth. It's a good color combo. You do have the front light guards, these silver, kind of dark silver metallic grills, also the checker plate on top. I like the tire size. It's your more traditional Michelins and white wheels. So that contrast I always thought looked good. The inside you have Lucari, which with an open top vehicle, I think this is sometimes the way to go. This is a grained vinyl. So it's perforated in the middle, white stitch, matching console. And these are the more modern seats that were in a newer model Land Rover. They're comfy. You can wipe them down. Same with the rear. They're just vinyl seats. You want to take this thing to the beach, you want to kick sand in it. You have rubber mats down here. Just metal floors underneath. You can kick it around. You're not going to hurt it. Dash is clean. These love to crack in the Defenders. We also added a USB port on the dash. You can have up to 4 cups while you're rolling around. So if you get thirsty all the time, this is a car for you. Aluminum shift knobs. I like upgrading to those just because they're a little bit bigger. It's not necessarily the style aspect, but it has a better feel in your hand. There's a shut-off switch down there. This car did come with a factory Land Rover alarm. We did disable it, the little key fob, because it was a power drain, and Land Rovers are known to have electrical issues. So we killed the thing to make sure it is fully reliable. You never have to worry about that thing again. You got the rear bench seats back here. Now, if you're a bigger guy, this one has a bulkhead removal. So unlike you normally have a partition here that comes across, you can't get the seat that far back. You can't bring it back too far. This one, if you're 6'4", you can fit in. It's a pleasure to drive. You can kind of tool around in this thing, take it out in the country. We've gone, for some drives in it, but given you have the more space through here, a lot of people overlook that they've not been in one or test driven one, of how much room you have. So imagine the partition going across at this height. The passenger seat couldn't go that far back. So you have a lot more room and flexibility. I like the open nature of it, but I also like them with the bulkhead. So there's a few different options there. They have a little different removal bar, but this one is more open. Even if you're not bigger, if you like your seating position further back, it's a good setup. So as you can tell, normally your seat back would have stopped here, and the seat looks like it's all the way back, so you have pretty good room in there. You can fit in it. That's important too. If you ever want to put AC in this thing and you go under dash, you are limited on the room. Right now it has about 107,700 miles. We probably put 1,000 miles on it since we've had it. We like to test drive all of our cars. We drive them regularly. I switch through cars a lot just so we can get road miles on them. You can see the original spot welds here down the side. I believe all around it's original paint. So you see them here. Start her up real quick. Glow plug. And start. Had a little puff of smoke like all Land Rover diesels do when they start up. Blinker, left, right. Lights, brights. Fog light's working. Let's see where that switch is. Off and on. Brake light switch. And we'll pop the hood here. One thing we did note, we took it out a few times, and you hear it squeakle. The way they make these seat brackets, they're not locked in all the way, so we're gonna lock them in. That's what was squeaking. Hear a little bit. We don't like it, so we're gonna fix it before it leaves. We'll mount it in place. I do like the taller console rather than the shorter one because it's right at a good elbow height, so you can relax, put your elbow on it. The lower ones, you don't get as much support. That is a 300 TDI in all of its glory. This one does not have the EGR on it, so you usually have a little bit more power. Those EGRs can be restrictive. Here's your plate here. And we'll go see a little bit here on that floor pan. We have the HD rods, looks like new steering stabilizer. The cross member back here is clean. Same with the outrigger there. So we'll go to the other side. And you saw there's some dents in this thing. It's not perfect. It was sourced out of Sweden. So you can see some of the galvanic corrosion starting. It does happen with your dissimilar metals, your steel versus aluminum, the electrolysis process. The outrigger's good. And that rear cross member. So you have a little bit that shows up in the lower floor pan behind the front tires. All right, that is a good solid walk around. If you have more questions, always let us know. We'll show you anything you want to. More than welcome to always show up and drive, go through the vehicles. Actually, we prefer it so you can see it in person. Do have a lot of other Defenders here in inventory. These three are V8s, low mileage, all original, one owner, 300, actually sorry, two. We sold it to a guy in Belgium. We bought it from the original owner. We sold it to a friend there, then we bought it back and imported it later. And then a few back here in the corner. Also Land Cruisers, some cool Hondas, Nissan Patrol, old W460 G-Wagon, KZJ73s, Lotus, Integra Type R. Yeah, we're into a wide variety of cars. So these we're prepping for sale over here. And then back in the shop, we have a few projects we're working on. All the guys are gone for the evening. So as you can see, we have a long line of vehicles we're working on here in progress. Do a lot of Land Cruisers and a lot of Defenders. If you have any questions, give us a call, 803-262-4742 or www.carcaveusa.com.